I need to borrow your car right quick.
What kind of shit is that? Most people want to borrow sugar, or even ketchup. You want to borrow my car? Hell no!
The phone call came at 2 a.m. Ice Cube picked up, groggy and confused. On the other end, a studio executive delivered news that would change everything. They were pulling the plug. 20 years of fighting, negotiating, and waiting all for nothing. The final Friday movie was dead, but that's not where this story ends. In fact, it's barely the beginning. What you're about to discover will completely change how you see one of the most beloved comedies of all time. From secret feuds that tore the cast apart to tragic deaths that haunt the franchise. From a dinner that saved the movie to a million-dollar mystery that confused fans for decades. These are the 28 secrets behind Friday that no one knew about. And trust me, by secret number 22, your jaw will be on the floor. Secret 1. The movie was born from anger, not laughter. Everyone thinks Friday started as a fun idea. That's completely wrong. Ice Cube was furious. In the early 1990s, every movie about black Los Angeles neighborhoods showed music, the same thing, violence, gangs, death, and despair. Films like Boys in the Hood and Colors had important messages, but they only told one side of the story. Cube had even starred in Boys in the Hood, so he understood that world intimately. But here's what bothered him. Where were the stories about laughter? Move Now. Working over at the Fox Hill Mall. Yeah, I get discounted clothes and underscore you like. Where were the memories of friends hanging out, talking trash, just enjoying life? He and DJ Pooh remembered their childhoods in South Central. Music, differently than Hollywood portrayed it. Sure, there was struggle, but there was also joy, humor, and community. They wanted to show the world that you could live in the hood and still have a good day. So, Friday wasn't just a comedy. It was a mission, a statement, a middle finger to everyone who thought they knew what life in South Central was really like. Secret 2. Ice Cube's own crew questioned music, his sanity. When Cube announced he wanted to make a comedy, the people closest to him thought he'd lost his mind. This was the hardcore rapper from NWA, the man behind politically charged albums like America, Most Wanted, and Death Certificate. His music was raw, angry, and confrontational. When he released the song It Was a Good Day, people in his own camp asked him why a hardcore rapper was talking about good days at all, making a comedy that seemed like career suicide. But Cube had a response that silenced the critics. I'm a reality rapper, and reality includes music, good days, too. He saw himself as more than the tough guy persona everyone expected. This movie was his chance to prove it, to show he could make people laugh just as hard as he made them think. The question was, would anyone give him that chance? Secret 3. The credit card plan almost happened. Here's something that sounds insane, but was completely real. Ice Cube and DJ Pooh were prepared to fund the entire movie using credit cards. They weren't joking. They'd studied how Robert Townsend financed Hollywood Shuffle by maxing out multiple credit cards. They looked at how Kevin Smith made Clerks for practically music, nothing. Their plan was simple. Shoot in one location, minimal cast, bare-bones budget. They even seriously considered filming the entire movie in black and white, just like Clerks, to save money on film stock and lighting. Can you imagine Friday in black and white? The entire cultural landscape would be different. For weeks, this was the plan.
Oh, see that shit?
It's monster fuck.
I didn't even get my turn, man.
Oh, man, fix that shit, man.
Two guys from South Central ready to bet everything on a comedy script that studios would probably reject. Then, New Line Cinema called Secret 4. Almost every character was a real person. This isn't a secret in the traditional sense, but most fans don't realize just how deeply personal this script was. Craig getting fired on his day off for supposedly stealing boxes. That happened to Ice Cube's actual cousin, who worked as a delivery driver. Word for word, that's how it went down. Smokey dealing weed and getting in over his head. Pulled straight from DJ Pooh's real experiences. Debo, the neighborhood bully who terrorizes everyone based on a real person they knew growing up. Craig's father, played by John Witherspoon, inspired by real father figures in their neighborhood. Even smaller characters. The crackhead is all.
My neck and my back. Oh, I want 150,000.
The persistent Felicia, the drug dealer, Big Worm, all had roots in real people from South Central. This wasn't just a movie. It was Ice Cube and DJ Pooh's lives translated into comedy. Every joke, every interaction, every moment of tension came from something, music, they'd actually witnessed or experienced. That's why the movie feels so authentic, because it is. Music, Secret 5, the studio crushed. DJ Pooh's dream. Imagine writing a character based on your own life experiences, crafting every joke and mannerism, knowing exactly how this person would move and talk and react, and then being told, you're not good enough to play the role. That's what happened to DJ Pooh. He'd always planned to play Smokey. The character was literally him. His stories, his personality, his experiences dealing weed and navigating neighborhood politics. Who could possibly play it better? New Line Cinema had one word, no? They didn't think Pooh had enough acting experience. They wanted a bigger name, someone proven at the box office. So Pooh had to step back and accept the much smaller role of Red instead. Music. Can you imagine how that felt to have your own story taken away from you?
Yeah, it's just like it's both ours. Just keep it down at my house. Cool.
Yeah, it's just like it's both ours. Just keep it down at my house. Cool. But here's the thing. Pooh could have been bitter. He could have fought against the production, undermined the casting process, or walked away entirely. Instead, he stayed supportive. He wanted the movie to succeed more than he wanted personal glory. That's the kind of integrity that made Friday possible. Secret 6. Chris Rock and Tommy Davidson almost changed everything before Chris Tucker became Smokey. The list of potential actors was wild. Chris Rock was seriously considered. Imagine his sardonic, intellectual comedy style in that role. The entire energy would be different. Tommy Davidson was also in the running. His physical comedy and high energy could have worked, but it would have been a completely different character. But Ice Cube had seen someone else. A young comedian from Atlanta performing on Def Comedy Jam. Wild, unpredictable energy.
Quit playing! Quit playing! Quit playing! Don't let me catch you, boy! Stop, man! Quit playing! Ah!
Street credibility mixed with genuine comedic talent. His name was Chris Tucker. Tucker had moved to Los Angeles in 1990 with nothing but dreams and determination. He was building a reputation on the comedy circuit. Known for his manic energy and unique voice, Ice Cube was convinced this was their guy. He just had to prove it in the audition. Music, Secret 7. The audition was an absolute disaster. What happened next became legendary, but not for good reasons. Chris Tucker's first audition was, according to the casting director, horrible. He'd just come off the road from performing stand-up shows. He was exhausted, unfocused, and hadn't properly read the script. His performance was flat. The timing was off. The character that would make him famous was nowhere to be found. Ice Cube watched his perfect choice fall apart. The studio executives exchanged glances. Music, this was not working. Most actors would have been dismissed right there. One chance, you blew it. Goodbye. But something unusual happened that would change the course of cinema history.
Smell like outdoor.
Hey, wait a minute, man. I ain't gonna be supplying you. You gonna be talking about my shit.
Director F. Gary Gray saw something others missed behind the exhaustion and poor preparation. There was raw talent, a spark of genius waiting to emerge. He fought for Tucker, convincing the skeptical studio to give him one more shot. But Tucker needed help. He was frustrated, scared, and completely unprepared. That's when an unlikely hero stepped in. Secret 8, a plate of spaghetti, saved the movie. Angela Means had just been cast as Felicia. She watched Chris Tucker struggling with the material and made a decision that would alter film history. She invited him to her house for dinner. Think about the courage that took. She was a new cast member herself, trying to secure her own place in the production. She had every reason to focus on her own performance, but she saw someone who needed help and she reached. Music, out. According to Faison Love, who played Big Worm, Tucker was terrified. He was worried that bigger stars like Dave Chappelle or D.L. Hawley would swoop in and steal the role he desperately wanted.
Come here. Come here.
Angela Means spent the entire evening working with him. They went through scenes together. She helped him understand the rhythm of the dialogue, the soul of the character, the world they were creating. By the time the spaghetti was gone, she later said Chris Tucker was Smokey. He went back for his second audition and absolutely destroyed it. The transformation was complete. He got the part, and one of the greatest comedic performances of the 90s was born. Over spaghetti in someone's kitchen because one actress cared enough to help. Music, Secret 9. Tucker's most famous lines were completely improvised. When you watch Friday, you're watching a script, but also a lot of magic that wasn't written down. Chris Tucker was given freedom to improvise, and he ran with it. Many of his most quotable moments were made up on the spot, spontaneous reactions that the camera happened to capture. The filmmakers recognized his genius and let him play. They'd filmed the scripted version, then let Tucker try variations.
Door.
All right, man.
Hey! You kids quit slamming my goddamn door! Damn!
Some of his wildest riffs made it into the final cut, creating moments that feel alive and unpredictable. This wasn't random improvisation. Tucker understood the characters so deeply that his spontaneous choices always felt authentic to Smokey. That's the mark of true talent. Secret 10 by Felicia was born from real annoyance. The most iconic line in the movie, the one that spawned countless memes and became part of everyday language, came from Angela Means breaking the script. Here's what was supposed to happen. Felicia walks up to the porch, talks to Craig and Smokey, asks for something, gets rejected, and leaves. But Angela Means thought about her character. Who was Felicia really? She decided Felicia would be the type of person who completely invades your personal space, who doesn't understand boundaries. So, without telling anyone her plan, she sat down right between Ice Cube and Chris Tucker on that porch. Watch the scene again. Tucker's reaction.
Fuck you, motherfucker. You think you're slick? Gonna come over here and ask me for some money.
That shocked, irritated music, expression isn't acting. He was genuinely annoyed that she sat down between them. That authentic moment of surprise made the scene legendary. Ice Cube's dismissive by Felicia was the perfect response to Tucker's real frustration. The line that would echo through pop culture for decades came from a moment of genuine, unscripted irritation. Secret 11. Ice Cube stayed completely sober on set. Everyone assumes Ice Cube and Chris Tucker were actually smoking weed during filming. Music, that's completely false. Despite playing characters who spend the entire movie getting high, Cube made a firm decision. He would stay completely sober during production. Why? Because this was his first movie as a producer. He had a tiny budget of less than $3 million and only 20 days to shoot. There was zero room for error. He needed to be sharp, focused.
That's like me asking you to use your air conditioner or something.
Well, Craig, I mean, if we had an air conditioner.
And ready to music. Make critical decisions at any moment, Chris Tucker followed his lead. The professionalism on set was intense, even as they created comedy that looked effortless and spontaneous. Secret, music, 12. The budget was insanely small. Less than $3 million to make an entire movie. 20 days to shoot everything. Music. For context, most Hollywood comedies at that time cost $20 to $50 million to produce. Friday was made for a fraction of that music, with a schedule that would terrify most filmmakers. Every decision had to be strategic. Every shot had to count. There were no second chances, no reshoots, no room for expensive mistakes. The tight constraints, music, actually made the movie better. It forced creativity. It demanded efficiency. It created an intensity that translates on screen. Secret 13. Two future stars made their debuts. Hidden in Friday are two actors who would become major stars, though you might not notice them. A 13-year-old Megan Good played one of the kids on the street. Years later, she'd become a leading actress in films and television. And in a quick, uncredited appearance during a flashback scene, you can spot Michael Clark Duncan as a Crabs player. This was years before he'd become famous for The Green Mile and other major films. The movie was a launching pad for talent in ways nobody predicted. Secret, music, 14. John Witherspoon was paid almost nothing. The late, great John Witherspoon, who gave us one of cinema's most memorable fathers, later revealed something shocking about the production. According to him, the main actors on Friday were each paid about $5,000.
You better put some water on that shit, boy.
All right, I eat it.
$5,000 for a movie that would gross over $27 million at the box office and become a cultural phenomenon worth hundreds of millions across its franchise. Witherspoon wasn't bitter about it. He understood it was a low-budget independent film, but it shows just how unlikely this success story really was. Nobody knew they were creating a classic. They were just trying to make a good movie with almost no money. Music, Secret 15. The movie changed comedy forever. Before Friday, hood movies were serious. They were about tragedy, violence, struggle, and pain. Friday proved you could set a comedy in the same neighborhoods and tell authentic stories were hilarious without being disrespectful. It opened doors for an entire generation of black comedies that followed. The Barber Hop franchise, the Friday sequels, countless other films, they all owe a debt to what Ice Cube and this cast accomplished. Secret 16, the million-dollar mystery that shocked everyone. When Next Friday came out in 2000, fans were stunned. Smokey was gone. The dynamic duo was broken up. For years, nobody understood why Chris Tucker walked away from the role that made him a star. The mystery dominated conversations. Theories flew around, and the truth turned out to be more complicated than anyone imagined. Ice Cube's version of the story centered on money and religion.
I don't even talk with all the horses missing their hair around
Oh, here you
look
go.
for me,
Too early. It's too early.
According to Cube, they offered Tucker somewhere between $10 to $12 million to return for the sequel. $12 million to reprise a character he'd already perfected. Tucker turned it down. Cube claimed it was because Tucker had become a devout Christian and no longer wanted to cuss or smoke weed on camera. Two of Smokey's defining characteristics. Secret 17. Chris Tucker's side of the story changed everything. When Tucker finally spoke publicly about his decision, He confirmed the religious aspect, but added crucial context. He said Friday had become such a phenomenon that he felt uncomfortable representing and encouraging everyone to smoke weed. The cultural impact was bigger than he'd anticipated, and he didn't want that responsibility. But there was more. Tucker said he simply wasn't interested in doing sequels.
That's why I've been like, fuck Hector.
Yeah, I remember that.
Pete.
He wanted to do great work on a film and then move on to something new and different. Staying in one character felt limiting to his growth as an actor. He believed leaving Smokey behind was good for his career because it pushed him to take on diverse roles and challenge himself, and the timing was perfect. He was about to become a global superstar. Secret 18, The Rush Hour Factor. John Witherspoon had his own theory about Tucker's departure, and it was brutally honest. Yes, the preachers had gotten to Tucker about the weed smoking. Yes, Tucker wanted to explore different roles, but there was another factor nobody wanted to say out loud. Chris Tucker was about to make $20 million per movie in the Rush Hour franchise. $20 million to star opposite Jackie Chan in action comedies that would make him an international superstar. Witherspoon joked that for that kind of money, he wouldn't have come back either.
Oh, nigga. That's Janet Jackson. Oh, Janet Jackson! The girl Debbie hooked me up with.
Can you really blame Tucker? The Friday sequels were offering 10 to 12 million. Rush Hour was offering $20 million plus a percentage of the profits. From a pure business perspective, the choice was obvious. Secret 19, the hidden feud nobody talked about. But money and religion weren't the whole story. There was something else, something most fans never figured out. There was a rift between Ice Cube and Chris Tucker after the first movie. Fall Love hinted at it in interviews. The tension was real, and it went beyond business decisions. At the heart of the conflict was a question that would poison their relationship. Who deserved credit for Friday's success? Secret 20. The opening of Next Friday revealed everything. The biggest clue to their feud was hidden in plain sight right at the beginning of Next Friday. There's a line in the movie about people trying to take credit for writing the original script. Since Chris Tucker improvised so many of his most famous lines, many believe this was a direct shot at him from Ice Cube. It suggests there was a falling out over creative ownership.
Oh, so they opened that already.
Yup. I heard they hiring too. You need to go down there and see what's up. Show out of work ass.
Think about it. Tucker's spontaneous genius helped make the movie a classic. His improvisation created some of its most memorable moments. But the script, the vision, the world, that was Ice Cube's baby. Who deserves credit when improvisation becomes iconic? It's a question that destroyed their friendship. Secret, Music, 21. Tucker had created many of Smokey Key's best moments. This is where the conflict gets complicated because Tucker had a legitimate point. Yes, Ice Cube and DJ Pooh wrote the script, but Tucker transformed Smokey through his performance, his improvised lines, his physical comedy, his unique voice and energy. These weren't in the original screenplay. You got knocked the F out. That became a cultural catchphrase. Was that scripted or improvised? Fans debate it to this day.
We could kick it, but I forgot I had to go pick up my mom from work, and you know how that is.
Many of Smokey Key's reactions, his wild facial expressions, his spontaneous responses, all Tucker. So, when Ice Cube claimed sole creative ownership, Tucker felt disrespected. And when Tucker seemed to imply he'd made the movie what it was, Cube felt his vision was being minimized. It wasn't just a business decision. It was the end of a creative partnership and a friendship. Secret 22. The cast started dying too young. The success of Friday should have been pure celebration. Instead, it became haunted by tragedy. Bernie Mac, who played Pastor Clever in one of the film's funniest scenes, died in 2008 at just 50 years old from complications of cirrhosis, an autoimmune disorder. Before his death, Mac had become a comedy legend. He'd starred in the original Kings of Comedy and his own beloved sitcom, The Bernie Mac Show.
But Sister Jones in?
Nope. Neither's Brother Jones. They both at work.
His journey was incredible. He'd grown up with a tough childhood in Chicago and was inspired to become a comedian after watching his cancer-stricken mother laugh at Bill Cosby on TV. He vowed to make people laugh so his mother would never have to cry again. He kept that promise. Secret 23. John Witherspoon's death broke hearts. In 2019, John Witherspoon passed away at age 77 from a heart attack. The loss devastated fans and the cast. Witherspoon wasn't just an actor. He was a comedy legend who'd started his career in the 1960s, coming up alongside giants like Richard Pryor and David Letterman. He brought that lifetime of experience to every role from the Wayans brothers to his voice work as Granddad on the Boondocks. His character in Friday, The father who dispenses street wisdom while sitting on the toilet became iconic. His timing, his delivery, his presence were irreplaceable. The cast members who are still here have spoken about how much they miss his energy on set. Ice Cube has said repeatedly that one of his biggest regrets is not getting to make one more Friday movie with Witherspoon. The chemistry between father and son in the original film was lightning in a bottle, and it can never be recreated. Secret 24 Tiny Listester's passing shocked everyone. Tommy Tiny Lister Jr., who terrified the neighborhood, as Debo died in 2020 at age 62 from cardiovascular disease. Before acting, Lister was a college shot put champion and a professional wrestler known as Zeus, who famously feuded with Hulk Hogan. He was born blind in his right eye, which gave him his unique and intimidating look on screen. Ice Cube called him America's favorite bully, and a good dude at heart. The Music Man, who played the most feared character in the movie, was in real life one of the kindest. What many people don't know is that Lister almost didn't get the role of Debo. The casting directors were initially looking for someone even bigger and more physically imposing. But Lister brought something they hadn't expected. He made Debo funny. The way he delivered lines like, "What bike?" turned what could have been a one-dimensional villain into a character people love to hate. His ability to balance menace with comedy was a masterclass in acting. And his famous fight scene with Ice Cube at the end of the film, they rehearsed that for days to make sure every punch looked real without anyone actually getting hurt. The professionalism and dedication he brought to that role made movie history. Secret 25. A.J. Johnson's death revealed a hidden struggle. In 2021, Anthony A.J. Johnson, who played the hilariously clumsy thief EOL, passed away at 55. His death was caused by multi-system organ failure after years of chronic alcohol use. A reminder that behind the laughter, many performers struggle with demons the audience never sees.
Come on, man. Buy me 40 ounces for my birthday. Today your birthday? What's today?
Johnson was a stand-up comedian and actor who'd also appeared in House Party. Ice Cube expressed sadness that he was never able to bring Ole back for one final movie. Johnson's performance as EOL was pure physical comedy genius. The way he moved, the crazy expressions, the desperation in his voice when he was caught stealing, it was all perfectly calibrated. Music. He studied classic comedians like Red Fox and Red Skeleton to develop Ole's unique style of humor. Every movement was intentional. Every line delivery was crafted. Cast members have shared that Johnson was one of the funniest people on set, even when cameras weren't rolling. He could improvise entire scenes and had the entire crew laughing between music takes. His loss was felt deeply by everyone who knew him. Secret 26. Angela Means' painful secret. Perhaps the most surprising untold story belongs to Angela Means, the actress who played Felicia. For her, the iconic "by Felicia" line became both a blessing and a curse. Means was a serious actress who created an intense backstory for her character. She imagined Felicia as a kind but troubled person misunderstood by her family and neighbors. She brought depth to what could have been a throwaway role. But as the "by Felicia" meme exploded in popular culture, something terrible happened. People began harassing her in public. She has emotionally recalled how strangers would yell insults at her on the street, calling her degrading names from the movie. The line that made her famous also brought her years of pain. She felt dismissed, disrespected, reduced, music, to a punchline. The character she'd carefully crafted became a symbol for dismissing people, and by extension, she felt dismissed herself. Today Means has found healing. She runs a successful vegan restaurant called Jackfruit Cafe, focusing on nourishment and wellness. She's working to reshape Felicia's legacy, showing her as music, a symbol of resilience, not just a meme. Her journey is a powerful reminder that actors are real people and the characters they play can have unexpected consequences, music, in their real lives. Secret 27. The 20-year war for the final movie. For 2 decades, fans begged for one more Friday movie. And for 2 decades, Ice Cube had to disappoint them. Music. The project wasn't just delayed, it was held hostage. DJ Pooh revealed that a movie executive was blocking the franchise. Music. Ice Cube was in a public battle with Warner Brothers over the rights to the very characters and world he'd created.
God, ain't getting her no more.
The studio owned the rights. Cube felt they didn't understand the movies or respect the legacy. He refused to make a final film under their creative control and fought to get the rights back so he could do it his way. It was David versus Goliath, an artist fighting a corporation for ownership of his own creation. For 20 years, it seemed like a losing battle. Ice Cube would give interviews promising the movie was coming soon, only to have deals fall apart behind the scenes. Fans grew frustrated, wondering if they'd ever see Craig in the neighborhood one last time. Secret 28, the miracle that just happened. Then in 2024, everything changed. New leadership arrived at Warner Brothers, and suddenly there was movement. Music. The new executives seemed to understand what the franchise meant to people and to culture. After more than 20 years of waiting, the news finally broke in 2025. A deal was officially closed. Ice Cube would write and star in the fourth and final film officially titled Last Friday. And the news got even better. Face on Love confirmed that after decades of holding out, Chris Tucker is expected to return to the franchise. Smokey is finally coming back, but the reunion will be bittersweet. John Witherspoon, Tiny Lister, AJ Johnson, and Bernie Mac can never be part of this final chapter. There will be empty chairs at the table. The final film will be a celebration of the characters we love and a tribute to the legends we've lost. The legacy that lives forever. What started as two friends from South Central wanting to show a different side of their neighborhood became a cultural phenomenon that defined a generation. Friday proved that comedy could come from anywhere. That laughter existed even in places the world only wanted to show as tragic. It launched careers, created legends, and gave us lines we still quote 30 years later. But behind the scenes were battles for respect, heartbreaking personal losses, feuds that tore friends apart, and a two-decade struggle to finish the story. Music. The cast fought for recognition. They dealt with tragedy. Some found redemption, others carried pain. But through it all, the movie they made together remained a testament to what's possible when artists tell their own stories on their own terms. Regina King went on to win an Oscar, but she's also endured unimaginable grief. Nia Long became a film icon, gracing screens in classic after classic. Ice Cube built an empire, proving he could succeed in music, film, and business. Chris Tucker became a global superstar, even if it meant leaving music Smokey behind.
Control. Stop.
Each cast member's journey reminds us that success is complicated, that fame comes with a price, and that the bonds formed during those 20 days of shooting in 1995 would last a lifetime, for better and for worse. Now, after 30 years, we're finally getting that last chapter, one final good day. And when you watch Last Friday, remember, you're not just watching a comedy sequel. You're watching the conclusion to a journey that started with anger, was built on improvisation and spaghetti dinners, survived feuds and tragedy, and ultimately proved that sometimes the most important stories are the ones the world says you can't tell. What secrets surprised you the most? Are you ready for Smokey's return? Did you know about the feud between Ice Cube and Chris Tucker? The conversation continues in the comments below. Let us know which Friday movie is your favorite and what you hope to see in the final chapter.